Ryo Hatate has told Celtic he wants to leave this summer, and Martin O'Neill has responded with a very honest assessment of where the Japanese midfielder actually stands in his plans. A Premier League club has also entered the race for Celtic's main midfield target on a day where the transfer deadline is tonight. Celtic are also closing in on a new goalkeeper. Scott Brown has highlighted a brilliant change in one of our key players this season, and a Celtic flop is heading for the exit permanently. Big morning, let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Ryo Hatate has confirmed his desire to leave Celtic this summer, and Martin O'Neill has now addressed the situation publicly for the first time, making clear exactly where the Japanese midfielder stands. Hatate has reportedly told the club he wants to go. He made 47 appearances across all competitions last season, but started only 7 of Celtic's 21 league matches after Christmas. He was not selected for Japan's World Cup squad, and the reports suggest he believes a move away would be the best outcome for all parties. His estimated transfer value sits at around €10 million, with 2 years still remaining on his contract. But O'Neill's response today has added a very important layer to the story. Speaking ahead of tomorrow's Champions League playoff first leg, the manager said, "I think there are a number of tentative inquiries. Nothing has come up that is beneficial to him or the football club, but that might change. If it did not change, I would be happy." He then gave the clearest possible summary of where Hatate sits right now, saying, "Ryo is a fine footballer. He has dropped down the pecking order at this moment. But if he could recapture the form he showed 2 seasons ago, he would still be an asset." O'Neill drew a comparison with Paulo Bernardo, who has gone on loan to Górnik Zabrze, saying Bernardo left because he did not want to be sitting in the stands rather than being pushed out the door. The situation is that Hatate has had offers but rejected them, describing them himself as not yet at the level he would want. The window is open. The deadline for Champions League registration changes is tonight, and O'Neill has made it clear there is a path for Hatate to stay. Whether the right offer arrives before the end of the window is the question that will define this story. Now for the main story, as Celtic's pursuit of Gvidas Ginaitis has just got significantly more complicated, with Crystal Palace now confirmed as the latest club to enter the race for the Torino midfielder. This is a massive development given that tonight at 11 p.m. is the cut-off time for Celtic to register any new players for the Champions League playoff against Lask. Arne Engels's £22 million move to West Ham was confirmed at the weekend, and Celtic have been chasing Ginaitis as the most likely replacement. The Lithuanian is 22 years old, stands over 6'3", plays from midfield with a left foot, and has racked up 43 full games in Serie A. He only turned 22 in April and already has 32 international caps for Lithuania. According to Europa Calcio, Crystal Palace could soon open negotiations for Ginaitis. Red Bull Salzburg, managed by Danny Roll, are also actively interested. Anderlecht have made their interest known too. Ginaitis' agent has commented on the situation, saying the player has a clear ambition and that if an interesting proposal arrived for both Torino and the player, it would be carefully evaluated. Torino's asking price has been reported in the range of £8 to £12 million. Celtic also already had a bid rejected, which tells you the Austrian and English clubs now joining this race are doing so with their eyes open on price. Mika Bar made his debut at Tannadice at the weekend in the League Cup win over Dundee United and has been registered for the Lask tie. But with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain banned from European football for 3 matches due to his time at Besiktas, the midfield depth problem is very real. Celtic need to move fast today if Ginaitis is the answer. If no deal is reached tonight, the next window of opportunity would not come until after both legs of the Lask playoff are already played. In other news, Celtic are making serious progress in their pursuit of Hungarian goalkeeper Balázs Toth from Blackburn Rovers, with talks now described as advanced and an agreement possible as early as this week. Toth is now being described as Celtic's first-choice goalkeeper target. The most recent update from Hungary puts the likely transfer fee at around £4 million. Concrete negotiations are said to have started last week, and the momentum has accelerated significantly since then. The numbers behind Toth are worth understanding. In Europe, he stopped 81% of the shots on target he faced across 4 Conference League appearances for Blackburn. His goals prevented figure in the Championship was also positive, meaning he kept out more than the chances he faced would statistically have been expected to produce. The one area of question is his distribution. His pass completion rate in the Championship was only 45%, though it rose to 68% in European competition. Celtic would not be signing Toth because of what he offers with the ball at his feet. They would be signing him because when the ball is coming at him, he has shown he can keep it out. With Viliami Sinisalo, the current number 1, and Kasper Schmeichel long retired, Celtic have been looking for a challenger to that position all summer. If this deal gets across the line this week, it would be another significant piece of squad business completed. The timing, with Lask arriving tomorrow, makes a signing this side of the deadline unlikely for the European registration. But on the broader squad picture, getting Toth in quickly still matters. In other news, Scott Brown has singled out Benjamin Nygren for praise this morning, pointing to a clear and meaningful change in the Swedish striker's game compared to last season. Nygren was Celtic's top scorer last season with 21 goals across all competitions and 16 in the Premiership. But there was a persistent criticism that he drifted in and out of matches, was too passive away from the box, and was handed too many of his chances rather than creating the situations himself. 3 games into this season, Brown believes that has changed. Speaking on Premier Sports, the former Celtic captain said, "I feel this season he is more involved." He continued, "He drops in a little bit deeper, he pulls in behind midfielders. That's a nightmare. If I am playing off your shoulder and receiving it that way, his first touch, he wants to go forward. That's what top quality players want to do." Nygren has scored in all 3 competitive matches so far this season. He opened the account on Flag Day against Dundee, scored in the 5-1 win at Kilmarnock, and then put in a superb performance at Tannadice in the League Cup, earning a 9 out of 10 player rating and scoring in the 4-0 victory over Dundee United. Brown also praised Nygren's composure in front of goal at Tannadice specifically, saying the 21-goal striker from last year arriving in the box deserved more respect from defenders, and that the moment he shaped to shoot, he fancied him to hit the target. With the Lask tie beginning tomorrow night at Celtic Park, a striker in this kind of form and increasingly embedded into the team's build-up is exactly what O'Neill will want heading into the biggest game of the season so far. Lastly, Joel Mvuka is finalising a permanent move to Bodo Glimt after his loan spell at Celtic came to nothing, with the Norwegian winger having now travelled to tie up the deal. Mvuka joined Celtic on loan from Bodo Glimt during the second half of last season, but made only 2 appearances and failed to make any real impression during his time at Parkhead. The loan arrangement has now ended, and rather than earning a permanent deal at Celtic, Mvuka is heading back to Bodo Glimt on a permanent basis. It is a quiet end to what was ultimately a very short and uneventful Celtic chapter for the 22-year-old. He arrived with some reputation from Norway, but the switch to Scottish football never clicked, and Martin O'Neill clearly did not see enough during the final months of last season to want to retain him. For Celtic, his departure is a formality rather than a loss. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.